Midwest Emo Tierlist. Midwest Emo is a subgenre of emo music where instead of wearing wallet chains and having a fringe cut, they wear flannels and beanies. It's also sort of a mixed bag of a genre because in the same song, you'll hear the most angelic guitar riff you've ever heard in your life, and then the most whiny, out of key vocals your ears have ever had the displeasure of absorbing. But honestly, I love it. I would argue this genre houses some of the most well-written and emotionally charged pieces of art. In spite of the fact that if you look up half the bands on Google, the word allegations will be suggested right after. I mean, it's kind of a genre where you have to separate the art from the artist, but we're going to rank them anyway. We're starting off very strong here with American football. American football is an easy A or S tier, probably an S tier. I mean, their self-titled album alone is gonna put them up that high because they're great, and it's not really something I feel like I can say a whole lot more on because everybody already talks about them. If you clicked on this video, you probably know who American football are, and people love to bounce on them, and they deserve to be bounced on. You know what I mean? They deserve the bouncing for sure. American football is going to get the S tier here. Now we're going to move on to modern baseball, baby. Oh my gosh, that is such a nostalgic band for me. My older brother showed him to me, and we would just jam out to Your Graduation like, all the time, you know. So it might be a little bit biased. I'm willing to admit that. But I really like them. They're not quite as like twinkly as a lot of these bands on this list, and that is where my kind of taste is. I really like that those twinkly guitars. But yeah, they're gonna have to get an A from me, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right. Moving on from there, we have Mom Jeans, dude. And Mom Jeans is a very controversial band for me because I feel like you kind of got like a certain, like there's like a spectrum of how whiny your vocals are in this genre. And down here you got like No Whine, then you got like MCR, and then you got like Max Seal, and then you got like Barracks upgraded to level 12 by Empty Parking Lot. If you ever heard that one. Very, very whiny, very... We'll get to them. And I'm okay with everything like up to here, you know? And it's not like it's a strict cutoff, but Mom Jeans is a little bit, you know, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit past my threshold of like tolerance, you know. I really like their riffs in songs like Edward 40 Hands. The way the bass interacts with the drums, it's just so kick-ass, dude. I really do like their songs. Sometimes they cross the line a little bit, and I'm all like, but at the end of the day, still a really good band. Still throw them on, still jam out to them. So for me, they're probably going to be a B tier. From here, we have It Looks Sad. I like It Looks Sad. I'm going to be honest, I haven't listened to a ton from them, but from the songs that I have heard of them, they're doing pretty good. They're not my favorite band in the world, but they're not a trash band either. I'd probably put them right in the middle of the road, but then again, maybe I'm not giving them a fair rating because I have not listened to a ton of their stuff. But I do like them. So we're going to talk about a pretty controversial one right now. This one is called Jank. And regardless of how you feel about Lou Diamond, that's not going to affect the rating here because we're just rating the songs of the band Jank. And as far as Jank goes, they have some bangers. I mean, there are just some sick licks in What I Like About You, Race Car Bed, Caitlyn, like all that sliding. It's just so nasty. And I think the way that they use the whine, it's just so, it's very just satisfactory. I do like the music quite a bit. However, there are some songs that are just not my thing. Like Kentucky Castle, it's not great, you know? And that's gonna have to knock them down a peg for me, you know? And he also, Lou Diamond then released more music under a name called Fail Better, Heal Faster. And I'm kind of gonna lump these two in because Fail Better, Heal Faster is just jank, but slightly worse. It's got a couple good songs like My Oh Malice or DNA Scam, but then there's also ones like Queer Recovery Club, where I think it's more about like a message. It's stuff that he's trying to say more than it is about like the music. And like you can definitely feel that, you know, it feels very reactionary. So I'm probably gonna give Jank, I want to say a B, and then Fail Better, Heal Faster, a C. So moving past that one, we're on to a bit more of a wholesome one. The World is a Beautiful Place and I'm No Longer Afraid to Die. They have some new stuff that's a little bit more in the area of shoegaze, and I really mess with it. But we're going to be talking about their earlier Midwest emo stuff, and I also mess with it, you know? I would call this band a little more poetry heavy, honestly. Like, they talk about existentialist topics that, you know, they'll make you think. They don't really have like any songs that I'll like jam out to, but I'll listen to it and I'm all like, oh, I respect this, you know, as art. And I do mess with their current shoegaze stuff a lot more. Like In Circles is a sick song, but their earlier stuff also cool, but not like super musically jamming, you know what I mean? So I think The World is a Beautiful Place and I'm No Longer Afraid to Die is gonna have to take, I think I'm gonna give them a C tier based off strictly their Midwest emo stuff and just like how much I mess with the music, you know, not quite as much about poetry. Mac Seal is a band that I don't have to do too much deliberation on. I just like them. Everything. You know, I don't have to wait here or there. I know where they belong. They're a very good band, and I'm very confident in that in an A. Perfect spot for them. And lastly, we have a band called Empty Parking Lot. To be fair to Empty Parking Lot, I have only listened to a few of their songs. And the songs that I've listened to, they have very cool instrumentals. I love a lot of the riffs. I love the way that they do some of their intros with like some sort of dialogue from somewhere. That is cool. I also like the way they name their songs. Like Barracks Upgraded to Level 12. And then I think it's something else after that. But it's a long name, and I love when artists do that because it's kind of just like taking the piss from some of like the like names taking themselves too seriously, and I think it's kind of funny. But the vocalist, I know he can sing because you can hear it in the song, him singing like normal. and I enjoy that. But after a certain point, like, it's too much of the wine. He's over the line. He's way out of bounds. And for me, that's just what does it for me. So I'm gonna have to drop him down to a D tier. I have to do it to him. So tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Tell me that my opinions suck. But this is what we got for our final tier list, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty solid with it. Tell me how stupid I am in the comments. And that's about it.